Alright, let's go on and do 2.4 Level A Notes. Solving multi-step equations. Alright, so we're getting harder and harder. We started with one step, and we went to two-step, and now we have multi-step equations. Okay, so I want to review first the distributive property. Okay, the distributive property uses two operations. Multiplication, and then can you guess the next one? Yep, again, multiplication. Okay, the distributive property is used to simplify the product of a number and a sum or difference. Alright, so before, like I said, I want to get used to drawing arrows. So any number attached to the parentheses means we are going to be multiplying. Okay, but you have to multiply twice because there's two terms inside right now. Alright, so 5 times x is just 5x. 5 times positive 2. Remember, always look at the number in front, or the symbol in front of the number to tell you if it's a positive or negative number. So 5 times positive 2, the answer would be positive 10, so plus 10. Alright, our next play. Okay, our next problem. Negative times 5x minus 10. So we have negative 1. Remember, that's a negative 1. Go ahead and multiply. So negative 1 times 5x is negative 5x. And then we have negative 1 times a negative 10. And you get plus 10. Okay, so remember, always remember the negative point. Okay, so over here, it doesn't matter if it's on the other side. Okay, you have 2w times 8w, and then 2w times negative 10. Okay, so 8w times 2w is 16w. 2w times negative 10 is negative 20w, so we're just going to write minus 20w. Okay, so that was our review of the distributive property. So now let's review combining like terms. When combining like terms, you only combine terms that have the same variable to the same variable. Okay, you also combine all constants. Constants are numbers without a variable. Okay, so here 5 and negative 7 are together. Over here, 7w, 7h, 7j. Now it doesn't matter if it has the same number, it has to have the same variable. This does not have the same variable, there are no like terms. Over here, 6f and 4f are like terms. Okay, so solving multi-step equations uses the distributive property. 2, simplify if needed. 3, eliminate using inverse addition and subtraction. And 4, eliminate using inverse multiplication, division, or multiplication of reciprocals. Okay, so we have 15 equals 3 times k plus 2. What do we have first? We have to distribute first. You always want to get rid of your parentheses. Okay, so we have 3 times k and 3 times 2. Okay, 3 times k is 3k. 3 times 2 is plus 6. Please write down the rest of your equation. Now we have to solve for the variable. So we have minus 6 on both sides. Why? Because this is a plus 6. Minus 6 on both sides. 15 minus 6 is 9 equals 3k, and then our constants are going away. Now we have 3 times k. You want to divide by 3 on both sides. So we get k equals 3 here. Okay, number 2, do we have to distribute? Yes, we do. That's always your first step, if you can. Distribute. We have negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, so that means minus 10. Alright, so now there's our new equation to work with. Negative 6x, reminder, leave this as your last step. So minus 10, we want to add 10 on both sides. Okay, so negative 6x, those cancel, equals 18. Now what do you think the next step is? We have to divide by negative 6. So you get x equals negative 3. That is your answer right there. Number 3. First step, distribute. 3 times g, 3 times positive 5. You get 3g plus 15. Okay, now we have to get g by itself. So we see plus 15. We know we have to subtract 15 on both sides. Negative 9 minus 15 is negative 24 equals 3g. Our constants cancel out. What are we left with? We are left with 3 times g, so we have to divide on both sides. Now I'm going over this kind of quickly because I'm hoping you guys are picking up how easy solving equations are. If not, do not be afraid to pause the video and rewind. So let's go to number 4. What's our first step here? We have to distribute. So negative 4 times x, we have negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 2. Look at the sign in front of the number, negative 2. So a negative times a negative always equals a positive answer. So we have plus 8 equals 12. Why is it plus 8? Because negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8, so plus 8. Now we have a new equation to work with. Okay, what do we have? Negative 4x plus 8. We know we have to subtract 8 because it's a positive 8. So negative 4x. Our numbers cancel away, so 12 minus 8 is 4. Negative 4x, so negative 4 times x. You have to divide by negative 4. You get x equals negative 1. That is your answer. Number 5, do we have to distribute? No. There's no parentheses, there's no numbers attached to parentheses, so we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so now we just go ahead and start solving for x. Okay, now careful with this one. This one is always tricky. Leave your negative 6x for your last step. So what number are we left with? We're left with a 9. Now is that a positive or a negative 9? It is a positive 9. There is no negative sign in front. So how do we get rid of a positive 9? You subtract 9 on both sides. So what are we left with? Negative 6x equals negative 15 minus 9. We're left with negative 24. Now always be careful. Make sure you bring down your negatives. Don't lose them. It's going to change your answer if you don't. So negative 6x, we know we have to divide by negative 6. You get x equals negative 24 divided by negative 6 is 4. Number 6, do we have to distribute? Nope. Let's go ahead and start solving. 7x plus 10. Let's get all the numbers away from x. So plus 10, we have to subtract 10 on both sides. We're left with 7x. Plus 10 minus 10, cancel out, equals negative 21. 7 times x, we have to divide now. So you're left with x equals negative 21 divided by 7 is negative 3. And that is notes for today, guys. Now remember, please pause, rewind if you have to. Try the next problems, then show me before you take the quiz. Okay, if you have any questions, please come to me and ask so that we can get them squared away.